He sat on the cold sidewalk of New York City. Dirty clothes, torn shoes, and an empty paper cup in front of him. People walked past him every day. Some dropped a coin, some didn't even look. Nobody knew that just 5 years ago, this man had a $3 million business. And nobody knew that 5 years later he would have it all back and more. This is the true story of Daniel Hayes, the millionaire who became a beggar, and the beggar who became a millionaire again. Daniel grew up in a small town in Ohio. His parents were working-class people. His father drove a truck. His mother cleaned offices at night. From childhood, Daniel had one obsession: money. Not because he was greedy, but because he had seen his mother cry over unpaid bills too many times. At age 19, he moved to New York City with only $400 in his pocket and a notebook full of ideas. He started small, selling handmade phone cases from a street cart. Every dollar he made, he saved. Every dollar he saved, he reinvested. By age 27, he owned a small import business. By 32, that business was worth $3 million. He had a penthouse apartment, a luxury car, designer suits. From the outside, Daniel Hayes was the American dream. But success can make a man blind. Daniel started spending more than he earned. He trusted the wrong business partners. He ignored his accountant's warnings. And then came the moment that changed everything. His biggest partner disappeared overnight, taking $1.2 million of company funds. Daniel tried to fight back. But lawsuits are expensive. The legal battle drained his savings. Within 18 months, the penthouse was gone. The car was sold. The business was closed. And one freezing January morning in 2018, Daniel Hayes, former millionaire, was sitting on a sidewalk in Manhattan, with nothing but the clothes on his back. For 6 months, Daniel lived on the streets. He begged for food. He slept in shelters. He felt invisible. One night, sitting under a bridge with rain pouring down, he opened a garbage bag and found a torn, wet book. It was a self-help book. Only the middle pages remained. But one sentence was still readable. It said, "Your life is not determined by what happens to you. It is determined by what you think about what happens to you." Daniel stared at those words for a long time. He had been thinking, "I lost everything. I am finished. I am nobody." But that sentence asked him a different question. What if this isn't the end? What if this is just the story you're telling yourself? That night, something shifted inside Daniel Hayes. The next morning, Daniel walked into a public library. He didn't have a phone. He didn't have money. But the library was free. He started reading business books, psychology books, biographies of people who had failed and risen again. He read about Walt Disney, who was fired and told he had no creativity. He read about Howard Schultz, Starbucks founder, who was rejected by 242 investors. He read about Abraham Lincoln, who failed in business and politics before becoming president. And slowly, Daniel began to understand something powerful. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of the road to success. He made a decision. He would start over from zero, with nothing but his mind. Daniel approached a church shelter and offered to help manage their donation drives for free. In return, he asked for a small room to sleep and access to a computer. They agreed. Every day, while others rested, Daniel worked. He reconnected with old contacts. He wrote emails. He researched new opportunities. 3 months later, a former business contact offered him a small consulting project, $2,000. That was his seed money. He didn't spend a single dollar on luxury. Every cent went back into building. He started a small e-commerce business from that shelter computer. Within 1 year, he was making $15,000 a month. Within 3 years, his new business crossed $5 million in revenue. Today, Daniel Hayes runs a business consulting firm in New York City. He employs 40 people. And every winter, he personally funds a shelter program for homeless individuals in Manhattan. When a reporter asked Daniel, "What is the one thing that changed everything for you?" he didn't say money. He didn't say luck. He didn't say a business strategy. He said, a wet, torn page from a garbage bag, and the decision to change what I believed about myself. Because here's the truth. The world doesn't change first. You change first. Your thoughts create your beliefs. Your beliefs create your actions. Your actions create your life. Daniel Hayes lost everything. But the one thing no one could ever take from him was his mind. And the moment he changed what was in his mind, his entire world followed. If this story touched your heart, give it a thumbs up. And if you believe that your story isn't over yet, subscribe to this channel.